6 years, I think, and I don't think we've ever done it in a noon.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
We discussed it briefly. It's
'Cause
just, I work till 5, so it's, for people who are working, it would be hard, I guess, but also if we could attend virtually, that might help too, but
yeah.
that thing just ring.
Yeah, just ring.
I think that's when it starts, right?
Yeah, 6:30, so.
That's kind of nice.
Usually, doesn't it turn green when
I can never remember if it's red.
You would think, but then again.
I just assume it's always recording it.
Well,
Exactly, that's a good thing.
The eye is always watching.
But that is, so I think that is a problem because if you attend virtually, your votes don't count. So I guess that's a city thing, is it?
Last I heard, you can't, if there's a quorum in person, then attending virtually was okay, but you can't count people.
it's on the virtual.
Right. That was the last I heard. I don't think it's changed since then, but.
Since you work during the day, would you be able to attend virtually if you were at work? Or no?
Yeah, if it was around noon, I could.
Do virtually at noon or something. I'd probably do it virtually. I work a little rough, but I can
Oh, right.
peel off if I need to. But
I'll ask the city about they're aware of the attendance issues, but I'll approach the subject of,
I'll stay tuned and kind of chat with you.
and maybe poll people in the interim
Just kind of.
to see if they can if it's even an option. If it's not going to help our attendance, then there's no sense in
Right,
asking.
right.
Because we'd have to change the whole thing, bylaws. It would be a process.
Right.
And if they do it for this board, they probably have to do it for all boards, and I don't know that they would do that.
How many other boards are there, ours?
Well, there's an arts board.
Oh, that's right.
There's all kinds of, there's probably 5 or 6 other community boards.
We got one more coming in.
Yeah, Caleb, he told me it'd be a few minutes. I think he's coming.
He's looking up the code right now.
You should text him.
I have it saved as a phone number in my phone.
Smart.
I just dial BPAB and it pulls it up.
It's nice that you put it in the meeting.
Yeah, I try.
Invite.
I'm like you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
We don't have a quorum.
Not quite a quorum, huh?
No.
Guess we'll postpone approving the minutes of August till, I guess, October to get a quorum. Well, but I don't think there's any.
Do people say they were going to miss, or is it?
I had a few say they were going to miss. I'm certain about John and Carol. John accepted the invite, so I'm assuming he'll be here, but
And Stacia, they're not.
Stacia, she kept clicking yes, no today, so I'm not for certain if that's. I guess we'll proceed on.
Yeah.
We'll keep rocking. We'll rocking
Still can't vote on anything, but we can still run through some of the other stuff.
itinerary stuff. Kind of like Terry, I think I'll pick back off there, maybe send out the attendance policy via personal, just so people be more, I wouldn't say accountable, but kind of acknowledge that they understand the rules of the land that we're in, which I know everybody has their own different circumstances, so I appreciate you all being here. I guess new business, I'll let Terry take off. I know I did see an email, I guess it was to BPAP that survey, so I hadn't done it yet, but.
So there's a link to the silver application was submitted to League of American Cyclists for a silver designation for bike-friendly community. And right now they're in the information gathering phase, which is a survey to the community. So obviously the more people that take it, the better. The city's sending it out. It's been posted with the ride. I shared it with y'all. I shared it with with CAB. Group me, trying to get as much traction as we can, but make sure you take that survey and then share it with anybody that you can get to take that survey. What's in it? Why take the survey is because if we have low participation, it's going to speak volumes to whether or not we're a bike-friendly community. If we can't get the community to respond to a survey, and getting a silver designation is going to help get even more money, bring in more local businesses, more bike-friendly stuff, and continue to build the community. So.
Now, I guess I got a question in regards to the social media. I guess our Facebook account. Who manages? Is that a city managed account or
I've got
admin rights or something?
I've got access, and I think the other Jeremy probably still has access.
I don't know, for some week you kind of like post something just social media wise, just to kind of draw some attraction.
I can get this pull up. I could add you real quick to the list of people on there.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing it even to my personal page, or I guess we all can share it to our
We
personal
all
page.
should, yeah.
Just to kind of draw some traction to.
I filled out the survey. I would say that your information in the group me helped, but the question of what designation do you think you should receive? Because I was like, I didn't know where I was.
So what I try to do is paint the picture like we were bronze before, and then we've done all of these things. Hopefully would paint the picture that we would be silver. We're not a gold. But I think too, like whether you say you're silver or you could even say gold, they look at that and probably think, well, they think it's very bike friendly. So we're not a gold, but it's whatever you think. I'm not telling you what to say. So
Okay. But the application is for silver.
yeah, the application was submitted for silver.
I already submitted it, so
Yeah.
I stopped and looked back at what you said, and then I came back and said,
Yeah,
it's
so
silver.
I tried to give context to the survey because if somebody just takes that cold turkey, and until you really start looking at all the stuff we've done, like if you just took that cold turkey and didn't really think about it or know any of the behind the scenes stuff, you'd think that not a lot's changed. But like when I started looking at it, and I've been involved in it, it was like, wow, we've done a lot of stuff in the last 4 years that we've been bronze. So anyhow, share that, get it out, personal accounts, get it out to any other groups like the women's group, Lori.
It's not very active at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I posted on there.
Yeah. So then the rest of Biketoberfest is coming. Whatever support we can get. There's a month full of rides, and there's probably stuff that's going to get added to it too. So we've got rides October 1st. There's a spin studio ride. There's women's ride and yoga. Intro to mountain biking for kids. Mountain bike ride. A taco ride, which is popular. Free tacos. Gravel rides, and I think we're going to try to do at the Meadows Tech Park. I haven't picked a date yet. We're going to try to do like a little town series mountain bike race that will be very community friendly. Add that to it. So in addition to that, we've got Take a Kid Mountain Biking Day. It's October 7th. You'll probably see some stuff about that. The Bike to School Day, when was, let me back up. So the additional trail upgrades for the Meadows Park, there's are coming. So we've got some more features being built and some more enhancements to that park just to make it better. There are 3 pretty major cycling events coming to that Meadows Tech Park Trail in 2024. And once the dates and everything are confirmed, I'll be able to tell you. But I do know they're coming. We're just working on dates. The Conway was awarded $3 million Metro Plan grant to improve Salem. That'll be the tunnel under Salem, bike pathways that are going to connect the school, protected bike lanes, enhancement there. So that's from Metro Plan. That's in addition to the Great Raise grant and all the other stuff. Lane blocks are still in production. That's the lane delineators that we've shared. I was with Jeremy the other day and we did kind of our own test with a new version of it that might be more resilient. We drove a dump truck, a fully loaded dump truck over it, and it survived with flying colors. So there's still some more tests that probably need to be done. Still waiting on bridges at Pompey Park and kind of where I was started to go. The bike to school day, I started to work on that, and it really just comes down to, I think, and it's not necessarily something we have to vote on. We could just do it kind of by email, get everyone to chime in on email, but we need to pick a school. A couple of people I talked to with the school system, like we just need to pick a school and then work with that school and reach out to them and come up with a plan. So, there's 2 more in November and December. There's going to be some cyclocross racing also at the Meadows Tech Park. But right now, the big, like getting the Veterans Park done, Pompey Park, the Raise grant, all of that engineering and planning work is still underway. So we've identified some riding around. If you see in your travels, as you travel around town, whether it's by bike or car, if you see any grates that are turned the wrong direction, we found some on Ferris and over around UCA. Kind of drop me a pin or tell me where they're at. So we're working on trying to get those fixed.
Like drainage grates.
Drainage grates, yeah. Came across some that were facing the direction of the flow of traffic where a cyclist could stick a tire in. And it's not a simple fix because they're rectangular, so you can't just turn them like they're square. You can't just turn them there. You got to have new grates made. So. That's it. So I think like we got to do some work pretty quick on the bike to school.
That's October 4th.
Yeah. I think we can pull it together pretty quick with the local community and CAB and the other cyclists, but I think we just need to identify a school. So maybe in that email that you send out with the attendance notification or whatever, may just
Hold that question.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I know Keith sent me a quick note email. He had mentioned about the lane blocks, the delineators. He was requesting maybe using Ellis Avenue as a test block area, maybe. I don't know if Jeremy had any.
Well, I know they're going on Harrison first.
Okay.
And then what's the way that process is going to look is whenever they go down on Harrison, so they're going to monitor bike traffic in the bike lanes. So they're going to put counters in the bike lanes like for 2 weeks before. Then they're going to install them, and then they're going to put counters in there for another 2 weeks to see
what trend.
See if it increases. And then the other thing too is, we'll just try to do surveys or something, do like a community survey. We'll also announce in the community that it's there, and maybe people try it out and tell us if it's safer. if they feel safer.
Can the counters detect the difference between a car tire and a bike tire?
Well, they're not going to go across the entire lane. We're just going to have the counters, like they'll coil it all up to where it's only in the.
Back lane.
So it could be, it could be false data initially because the car is driving in the bike lane
Right.
before the lane blocks are installed.
Right.
And then after they're installed, hopefully they're not driving in the bike lane.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the process to basically to see if it's something worth going forward for. But I know a couple of the communities are already investing in them. So
Here in Central, or just kind of.
yeah, I know Jeremy told me Sherwood, and I think Bentonville's looking at them.
Nice. Very good. Well. Anybody else have anything on, or any thoughts?
I try to. I've got. If you want to pass that around, I printed out the Oktoberfest.
Kind of schedule.
Yeah, there's Andy's frozen custard ride. There's a bike brunch and brews. So I'll pass that around if there's anything that interests anyone. Just show up and support and talk to people. I think like the survey for the League of American Cyclists is important, but it's like trying to just feel like it shouldn't be this hard to get surveys.
Yeah.
You know how many
It's free.
around? How many people have taken it
They
so
don't
far?
tell me. I do right now. I just know it's pretty low. Like they're getting some surveys, but it's a fairly low count statistically compared to the size of the city.
Is this, I'm assuming that this is like on a calendar somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's if you go to the chamber calendar of events, that's where it's at. Or I think if
Maybe
you
in
Google
some of
Conway
the agenda.
Oktoberfest, it'll take
Yeah,
you
I
to.
found it. I found the calendar.
I think
And
I think I
I
put
signed
it
up to lead the women's ride, but they have me down on the Chicago ride, which means I need to get out there and ride so I can at least complete that ride.
I saw some signs on the trail the other day, so that's getting out there too
Yeah,
for the Oktoberfest.
Cute.
they've got some yard signs around. So
I meant to email you about this, but something I would like the board to look at some point would be suggesting like a Vision Zero policy for the city. So that relates to basically the idea is eliminating traffic related deaths or injuries. And I thought about it after the whole UCA student.
Hi. My
Last-
apologies. It's okay.
The last
Pedestrian.
issue there was, yeah. So it's kind of a systematic approach to trying to eliminate those incidents. And I think it would be really beneficial for the city to implement something along those lines. So it'd be good for the board to bring that up. And
Zero tolerance.
it's not really zero tolerance. It's more of like an approach to looking at your infrastructure to
looking at
eliminate.
the pressure points and figuring out how to prevent them before they study the data. And I've already looked into that and kind of started doing some of the initial work on it as far as trying what it's going to look like to create it. But it's pretty big.
Yeah, I know this conference I was at this week, they were talking about a Vision Zero, I think statewide, just implementation of, approaching zero deaths with traffic related issues and whatnot. So I think it's definitely something that's being talked about and being recognized statewide. I mean, I think city specific, I think it'd be ideal for a community like Conway because people tend to look at Conway as a bike cycling community. So, and we're kind of being a model community with other communities going after this raise grant as well. So this is something I was like sitting there just like, man, Conway deserves a lot of kudos for some of the things that we've done. It's like Russellville recently received a raise grant, which mimicked our raise grant application.
Really?
So
Same amount or similar?
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So it's definitely, I think a lot of communities are seeing the benefit of it. So
I've had some initial discussion with CPD about, education with law enforcement.
Yeah.
As part of that, so.
Yeah, so I think thinking ahead, might as well start thinking 4 years ahead to the next league audit or whatever we call these scoring report cards. I think implementation of something like that would go a really long way. So in addition to the benefits you'd get from obviously implementing it, it would look great for our next go around on that application.
absolutely. Especially even in infrastructure improvements. I mean, just the equity, the engineering, or the
Yeah, and stuff like crosswalks like that are not a whole lot of effort to,
enhancement.
that's a rough spot there in front of UCA, and there's a lot of streets we have like that where it's just open, and we've got there's not a whole lot that paint on the street is going to do to slow some people down. So there's steps you can take to make improvements there, and I think taking a proactive approach on some of those would be more effective than our current approaches.
One thing, I mean, I think this probably the potential to try to get the city involved in just reducing the speed, just in all streets. I mean, that's one, I wouldn't say an easy approach, but I mean, there's a lot of signs that can be changed down, reduce the speed limits, and all these side streets that potentially help approach that Vision Zero accident.
Yeah, so I'm really bad about emailing you for agenda suggestions, so since we got
I
that.
appreciate
Looked
that.
it up. I didn't know. I've not heard about that.
Yeah, there's a really good model city in New Jersey. They've had like 0 pedestrian or cyclist deaths in
Wow.
like 3-4 years, and it's a pretty big city.
I think one of the big pieces of that is getting community buy-in early on, because you need their feedback. And then the education piece and all those, so. I think having it on paper is different than having a budget to do all the things, and so it's gotta
It's
be,
true.
We'll plan.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do without a budget at all. You mentioned swapping out signs. The problem is that signs don't seem very effective. You really have to look at street design and actual, traffic calming, and it could be as simple as just putting up, I don't know if you ever drive in front of Target, but just putting up the little signs there by their crosswalks that people are going to be walking across and stuff like that. I mean, cost of a few signs that you stick in the middle of the road just to make the lane look smaller is going to slow cars down a lot more than putting up a speed limit sign and reducing the speed or something like that. So I think things like that are low cost and a lot of benefit. So
Will the city take care of that cost, or will we get sponsors or see it?
there's probably a lot of grants out there
Grants
for
or something?
stuff like that. Sure.
Yeah.
On the bike to school thing, last time we said Carl Stewart and Simon specifically.
Yeah.
When you send out the email, did you want to keep it to like either or just any school? What do you guys think?
I think for simplicity, it'd probably be beneficial to keep it just those two, just to have a poll and just see what.
Yeah.
That way we're not we got 4 middle schools, so
Yeah, 8 different answers. or whatever.
8 different answers, and I think it'll be.
I think just because I haven't been by Simon lately, but I know the bike rack's starting to get, because of the good weather, the bike rack's pretty full at Carl Stewart. So, and it's also kind of busy with Salem and all that. I think it's kind of a busy area. So I think that would be a good one.
It's pretty close to a trail too, so
Yeah.
just kind of makes sense somewhat.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll vote on it, but it's kind of like. But yeah, I'll send that out for us between the two. I think, like you said, I think for most of us, I feel like Carl Stewart is kind of ideal, but definitely like to value other people's opinions as well.
That's all I've got.
Short and sweet. Unless someone else has anything, any questions for me, or I'm open to suggestions on the agenda. I kind of wreck my head. I feel like I'm rinsing and repeating every month.
I got nothing. That was all I had for you.
Fair. It's a good one.
When will we get another update from the city of like how many accidents there's been? Or, I mean, was that a one-time deal and we got that one time from the?
No, they have the report. I got like the 5-year data, but I haven't gotten anything recent. So I'd have to go back and look at my notes on the officer's name, but I emailed them about a month ago to ask for new information and didn't get a response. So
Different officer, maybe. I don't know.
seemed like they would tell you like,
Thinking they would respond to a peer, right? To another city.
yeah. So I don't know. I might just send an email to the chief if and then let him trickle it down, and then I bet I get a response then.
A little more pressure. So I guess we normally meet October, November, skip December. How's it? I can't remember how we did last year.
Yeah, I think we skipped December and picked back
Pick
up.
a look at the January.
Next month we're technically supposed to nominate officers. We never did replace you as our vice chair. So typically the vice chair, what's in the bylaws currently is vice chair becomes chair, and we would elect a new vice chair. So I don't know what your plans are, but just giving everyone a heads up that that's typically next month. So usually you want to have like a good idea of people who might be interested and that type of thing.
Do we have any openings on the board too, or are we full at this point?
We will have openings, yeah.
Yeah, my term ends this year, technically. But
You replaced somebody, right? Or did you come in?
came in
Yeah.
23 or 2020.
Right.
So different time. Had a hybrid onboarding, I guess, between virtual.
The October meeting is the United Way's Pillar Party is that evening, so that's going to take away some people at the Kaiser's house. So that, I mean, sure, Grace Day she'll be gone, and maybe Adina.
Nice event.
I don't know. Yeah,
Busy month.
yeah.
Well,
Short and sweet, I appreciate you
Yeah.
all.
Thank you. No need to move and approve.
Move and approve. Like I'll send out some correspondence, between today and tomorrow night or at some point. Catch up on work and all this stuff, so. Just kind of following up what we discussed tonight. I appreciate you all and, look forward to seeing y'all next month.
Thank you.
That's good.
Pushing that